This is the Kitchen Table Magician, and today I want to talk about the building blocks of magic. This is the first of what will be a 5-part series on the fundamental playsets that I think every player should acquire to start constructing solid decks in a more casual environment. So if you're a beginner, fairly new to this game, and you're not sure where to start collecting cards, this is going to be for you. The cards I'm going to talk about will all be readily available, dirt cheap, and are just old standards. Cards that in my 20 years of playing, I just keep coming back to time and time again. Some of them are upgrades on older standards, but again, everything I'm going to present here is readily available and dirt cheap. And then I'll end each segment with one splashy rare that's still fairly available, not horribly expensive, that I think is a building block in each color. So today we're going to dedicate to green. Okay, what green is best known for is mana ramp and being able to play big beatdown kinds of creatures very early in the game. And one of the oldest and most fundamental cards for doing that is Llanowar Elves. I have more play sets of Llanowar Elves than I care to count, and I include 4 of them in almost every green build that I do, unless I'm doing something really weird. It's got a newer reprint as well, called Elvish Mystic. This is from M15. Exact same card fundamentally, just a different name. So this is a common. It's got zillions and zillions of printings. It was printed in every core set up through, geez, I don't know, 10th edition maybe even more than that. And then it was also fundamentally reprinted in a few other sets. I know Ice Age had Fyndhorn Elves. So yes, 4 of these is a must. Okay, the next card on the list is Rampant Growth. Again, this is mana acceleration, but it's in sorcery form. This is a really great card. It only costs 2. It allows you to search your library for any basic land you want and put it onto the battlefield tapped. So it ramps your land out. It also, at the same time, thins your deck out a little bit, so you're getting those lands out of your deck, so you're not drawing them later on. So this is really a 2-for-1. And a common that was printed in multiple core sets. I think originally was in Mirage. Okay, Acidic Slime has been in multiple core sets as well. This is a Commander version from a Commander deck, but I think you can pick it up from like M10 on, maybe even a little earlier than that. 2/2 Death Touch for 5 mana, but it also, upon entering the battlefield, destroys any target artifact, enchantment, or land. So a lot of versatility here, plus you get a 2/2 Death Touching body. He is at uncommon, but again, he's been printed a lot, so he's not real expensive. An alternative sorcery form that's a little bit cheaper, but does basically the same thing, is Creeping Mold. For 4 mana, you can destroy any artifact, enchantment, or land at sorcery speed. So this is a fine backup if you cannot find acidic slimes. But I recommend the slime first, even though it does cost 1 more. Again, green is really good at ramping these kinds of things out. Next on the list, I have Lignify. Now, this is newer. This is from Lorwyn Block, so newer for me. Lorwyn Block is an old block, yes. Showing my age there. Lignify. It's about the best creature removal that green has to offer that I've ever seen. It's not really creature removal, though. It's just creature control. It turns any creature into a 0/4 tree folk with no abilities for 2 mana. It is an enchantment. So if you're just playing mono green, just straight green and nothing else, this is a fine addition to your decks because green just doesn't really have anything else to do this. Otherwise, if you're getting outside of green, like you're doing green-white or green-red, well, then you turn to the red or the white to do these things for you with paths or fireballs or stuff like that. All right, lastly, I want to talk about producing more than 1 color of mana, i.e. producing all 5 colors. This is the cheapest way to do it. This is Gemhide Sliver. For 2 mana, you get a 1/1 body, and it taps for 1 mana of any color in your mana pool, but all slivers get to do that. So on the off chance that your opponent is playing slivers, which is very rare, they'll be able to do it with theirs too. This is an alternative to Birds of Paradise, which I consider to be the real staple that you should get. And that's what I meant by kind of a splashier rare. These still aren't too bad because they've been printed a lot. So this is the only rare I'm going to talk about today, but this is really the cream of the crop that you want to get, but this is an extremely good budget alternative. Both have served me well over the years, and I just keep coming back and back to them. When I'm playing in multiple colors, I will run play sets of these. Birds of Paradise, depending on what you're getting, will run you maybe $5 to $6 a copy. So it's a little spendy, but it's well worth the money. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to talk about Giant Growth. This is a great combat trip. 1 green at instant speed, a creature gets +3/+3. This is very aggressive. It can also be very defensive. Now, green runs a lot of creatures with trample, so that additional damage can also carry over. This is about the best combat trick that green has ever had. And again, dates all the way back to Alpha. This is an old staple, and I just keep coming back to this time and time and time again and including them in my decks. So that's what I have today for green, for cards that you should look for your collection if you're just getting going. That will help you build some solid decks. Thanks for watching.